Good evening, folks. This is the Metaphysical Micto Griffin Red. I hope you've had a wonderful holiday, and I hope you were able to spend it with your friends and family, and that you were able to enjoy it. This video I decided to do is kind of in response to all the years I have seen and heard black people quote this particular guy as a champion of peace and civil rights, and he was able to free his people without any bloodshed. And this person I'm talking about, his name was Mohandas Karamchand Gandhi. And what these dumb niggas don't know is that Mahatma Gandhi actually hated black people while he was over in South Africa. And I actually did some research and found out that he actually said a lot of quotes in some of the books that were written by him. And I'm going to share with you 13 racist quotes that Gandhi has said about black people. Now, all these quotes are from the collected works of Mahatma Gandhi. They're taken from his writings and his statements during the years he spent working as an attorney over in South Africa before he went back to India in 1915 to fight for independence. Now, I want you to take a note. The word kafir is an offensive term in South Africa on par with the word nigger here in the U.S. Though in Gandhi's time, some historians claim it was considered more neutral, which you and I both know this is bullshit. So here we go. This was quoted by him before December 19th, 1894. It says, "A general belief seems to prevail in the colony that the Indians are little better, if at all, than savages or the natives of Africa. Even the children are taught to believe in that manner, with the result that the Indians is being dragged down to the position of a raw kafir." Quote 2, September 26, 1896. "Ours is one continual struggle against a degradation sought to be inflicted upon us by the Europeans, who desire to degrade us to the level of the raw kafir, whose occupation is hunting and whose sole ambition is to collect a certain number of cattle to buy a wife with and then pass his life in indolence and nakedness." Quote 3, October 26, 1896. "There is a bylaw in Durban which requires registration of colored servants. This rule may be, and perhaps is, necessary for the Kafirs who would not work, but absolutely useless with regards to the Indians. But the policy is to class the Indian with the Kafir whenever possible." The next quote, before May 27th, 1899. "Your petitioner has seen the location intended to be used by the Indians. It will place them, who are undoubtedly infinitely superior to the Kafirs, in close proximity to the latter." Next quote, May 24th, 1903. "The $3 tax is merely a penalty for wearing the brown skin, and it would appear that whereas Kafirs are taxed because they do not work at all or sufficiently, we are to be taxed evidently because we work too much, the only thing in common between the two being the absence of white skin." Next quote, February 11th, 1904. "I venture to write you regarding the shocking state of the Indian location. The rooms appear to be overcrowded beyond description. The sanitary service is very irregular, and many of the residents of the location have been to my office to complain that the sanitary condition is far worse than before. There is, too, a very large Kafir population in the location for which really there is no warrant." Next quote, February 15th, 1904. "I feel convinced that every minute wasted over the matter merely hastens a calamity for Johannesburg, and that absolutely no fault of the British Indians." Why, of all places in Johannesburg, the Indian location should be chosen for dumping down all the Kafirs of the town passes my comprehension. Next quote, February 15th, 1904. Of course, under my suggestion, the town council must withdraw the Kafirs from the location. About this mixing of the Kafir with the Indians, I must confess I feel most strongly. I think it is unfair to the Indian population and it is an undue tax on even the proverbial patience of my countrymen. Next quote, September 9th, 1906. Even a half caste and Kafirs, who are less advanced than we are, have resisted the government. The pass law applies to them as well, but they do not take out passes. Next quote, June 4th, 1907. Are we supposed to be thieves or freebooters that even a Kafir policeman can accost and detain us wherever we happen to be going? Next quote, February 2nd, 1908. The British rulers take us to be so lowly and ignorant that they assume that, like the Kafirs, who can be pleased with toys and pins, we can be fobbed off with trinkets. Next quote, July 3rd, 1907. Kafirs are as a rule uncivilized. The convicts even more so. They are troublesome, very dirty, and live almost like animals. Each ward contains merely 50 to 60 of them. They often started rows and fought amongst themselves. The reader can easily imagine the plight of the poor Indian thrown into such company. Final quote, December 2nd, 1910. Some Indians do have contacts with Kafir women. I think such contacts are fraught with grave danger. Indians would do well to avoid them altogether. So, there you have it. Now, I wonder what the Afrocentric pro-black nigga, what's his name, who claims that Indians are Africans, is, I'll describe him to you. He has a white beard, Coke bottle glasses, and a big ashy milk dud head. Oh, Ronoko Rashidi. Well, Mr. Rashidi, what do you have to say about this? It's apparent that the Indians don't like Africans, apparently. So I'd like to hear what you got to say about this. Crickets chirping. Now, the only good thing that comes out of all these quotes is that Gandhi was assassinated at 5:17 p.m. on January 30th, 1948 by Nathuram Godse. That's the only good thing that came up out of this. Gandhi was a piece of shit. He was a racist and a pedophile. He slept with young girls as young as 12. I believe Penn and Teller had actually did a video on him where they went into detail of what he did with these young girls. So Gandhi is somebody who should not be revered and championed as an agent of peace. He should be mocked and his grave spat on. And I want to give a special commendation to the people of Ghana for voting and petitioning to tear down the Gandhi statue on their land. Tear that son of a bitch down. I commend you for that. So, there you have it. This is my video on the piece of shit named Mahatma Gandhi. And last but not least, fuck you, Gandhi, and the disease pussy that pushed your sorry ass out. Thank you and good night.